Friends of Liberty and compassionate anarchists, how are we doing today? My name is Sterling with the Psychologic Anarchist. And I know it's been a long time since I've made a video. I've gotten busy with school, with work, with life, with all those fun things. And I just wanted to explain to you guys or give you guys an explanation of why I haven't made a video in a long time. But now I intend on jumping right back into the fray and start making videos again, at least until I go back to school and it starts getting hectic again. But now, of course, I'm out for the semester. So let's jump right into it. There's been an idea that I've been playing with over the last couple of, I want to say last couple of months, and I've been roiling it around and considering it. And it's a part and parcel of the relational and compassionate anarchist philosophy that I've been trying to articulate and explain, which, as you guys know, it's a synthesis of the principles of voluntarism plus interpersonal neurobiology and attachment theory. And to make this video occurred to me, and somebody asked me a question on my feed today. The individual is Frank Lee, and what he asked was, how do I remain so calm in debates? How do I not become triggered and start going off on people? First, I want to preface this idea with something. It's not true that I'm always super calm, super collected, and not emotionally triggered. I do get emotionally triggered like everyone else, but I have cultivated a character, an internal awareness of myself that prevents me from jumping off into the deep end and becoming highly triggered and highly upset to the point of name-calling, insulting, and otherwise making the conversation devolve into something other than a discussion or a debate between two rational people. And ultimately, it is up to us as individuals to control ourselves, to have emotional awareness, and to have an understanding of the other person's needs, and to try to connect with that other person, to make sure that the debate proceeds in such a way that we can come to find a common ground. We can come to find an understanding of the other person so that we can mutually and cooperatively work our way towards a peaceful resolution for whatever the issue is at hand. And I just refer to this idea as compassionate diplomacy. Compassionate diplomacy, really, what it boils down to is this notion that we have psychological mindedness, right? We have a psychological awareness of our own internal states so that we can respond to people in a way that doesn't allow ourselves to get triggered and we don't see other people's ideas as so threatening that we can't control ourselves and that we can't listen to them, so that we can enact this type of compassionate diplomacy and come to a middle ground. So to answer the question more directly, how do I control myself? Well, with psychological mindedness, what I often do is I keep in mind my own neurology, right? I have an understanding that whenever I do get triggered, my brain is going to get flooded with cortisol, which is a stress hormone, and high levels of the stress hormone makes my ability to understand the other person basically null and void, right? It doesn't exist anymore. And in that instance, I also lose the ability to articulate my own ideas and my own thoughts because I'm lost in this whirlwind, this tumult of emotional eruption, right? There's all these emotions, and usually the primary emotion is fear. Fear is what causes us to get lost and to lose awareness of the moment and to lose any type of connection that we might have with that other person. So, first and foremost, I'm aware of my emotional content. I'm aware of my neurology. I'm aware of what's going on in my own brain. And that really keeps me centered and keeps me from losing myself in the fray or in the tumult of an argument. And another aspect of this neurological awareness is this, and as part of it is this concept of psychological mindedness. And what this means is I just understand my own psychology. I know what types of ideas that I stand for. I know what ideas that do upset me or that I don't agree with. And when people spread those ideas, I already know about them and have an understanding of how I'm going to react, so I can really titrate my reactions to those ideas and confront those ideas and those individuals with a sense of poise that may be absent in any other given time or with any other type of person who doesn't have psychological mindedness. So, for practical purposes, whenever we want to try to relate to another person to the extent of getting them on an even keel with us, we have to have psychological awareness. And that's what I do. I have psychological awareness and neurological awareness. And this prevents me from going overboard and from losing my cool and then losing a connection or an attachment with the individual that I'm debating or arguing with. And I think this is really important because if we're going to come to terms with peace, if we don't want to devolve into mouth-breathing troglodytes, we have to be able to have a connection to that other person. We have to really expand our emotional real estate to be inclusive of the other person. And this in my mind, and is our ultimate goal in having discussions with people, is to convince them of the practical implications of anarchism, to demonstrate that anarchists are poised, they have psychological awareness, they are loving entities who ultimately want to share their ideas with other people so that they will come over, so that those other people will come over and embrace our ideas. This is one of the reasons why being super aggressive and hostile with other people is counterintuitive, right? It doesn't work with most people because of simple psychology, because of simple neurology. Most people don't tend to have psychological awareness and neurological awareness, and they oftentimes react and their brain's flooded with cortisol. And as I've talked about before, high levels of cortisol actually destroy our ability to connect with other people, and especially rends apart our memory. We can't remember things or recall things from those interactions, and therefore we're not learning. So a big part of compassionate diplomacy is to make that connection, to be one with other people, have that unity, so that we can promote anarchism. And these encounters with people are actually persuasion encounters, right? That we actually do make that connection and they come and get on board with anarchism. So that's just a little quick overview of compassionate diplomacy and why it's so important, and also how I am able to connect with other individuals and remain or retain my calm in those encounters. So just a little bit of a note. Not only am I going to start making videos more often, but also in the next couple of days, and this is pending announcement and is going to be tentative, but I am going to do a live session where we can discuss these ideas or other ideas. I just posted something recently about it on Facebook. So I just hope you guys keep track of my content, and I'll keep producing these videos as I can, before getting busy. And anybody who's new to the content, if you enjoyed this, please subscribe below, like, and share this video with your friends. And in my mind, this right here, this compassionate vector of anarchism, is what anarchism and what anarchists are all about.